I present to you a woman earlier in the week / end of last week. I did a video of a woman that was saying that she was paying a crazy car note. Well, you guys followed up again and you sent me some follow-up videos from this person in which they were basically saying they don't understand what everybody is sitting there complaining about. They don't get, and it makes no sense to them, why everybody is saying that she's paying an extraordinary amount of money. And so she got two follow-up videos. The first video, she's not only talking about the fact that she was paying, I think it was $1,400 a month for a Tahoe, and she had spent over $50,000 during the financing process over the last 3 years and only had like $6,000 in equity into the original price that she purchased it for. But now first, I'm going to present the first video. The first video is of her talking about what her husband's car note is and what the interest rate is. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into it.
Do y'all want to know what is worse than my Tahoe payment? You guys thought that was bad. Wait till you hear this one. It's my husband's truck. My husband drives a 2020 GMC AT4 Sierra 1500. We bought it in August of 2022.
So you bought a used truck. Got it. 4 years old now. Got it.
Financed it for $78,000.
I am so confused and I do not understand. How are y'all financing these cars that you're complaining? Listen, and if you got it, then it's different, right? If you getting it and you can afford it, then that's a completely different conversation. But what these people are saying, and they hopping on these platforms and they having these conversations, she was paying $1,400 a month. He financed another car for $78,000, or a truck for $78,000, 80 grand. 80 grand. So they probably had somewhere in the range of $160,000, $170,000 worth of vehicles that they financed and that they complaining about that the car notes is too high.
He still has a remaining balance of, I think it's $72,000 or $74,000. I haven't really checked recently. His payments are $1,600 a month.
So think about this. She said her Tahoe payment was $1,400 a month. Now she's saying that her husband's truck note is an additional $1,600 a month. Now, when y'all taking this into consideration, don't just look at it and say, well, they paying $3,000 a month in financing vehicles. I also want you to take into consideration that this doesn't include insurance. This doesn't include gas. This doesn't include maintenance. None of that. None of that. This is just the car notes with high interest rates.
So y'all thought my $1,400 Tahoe payment was bad. His truck payment is $1,600 a month.
And what do these people do for a living?
With an APR of 14%.
And then they be talking about this like, they talking about it like it's something to be proud of. With an APR of 14%. You paying an interest rate of 14%, probably 72 to 84 months. You paying for a house just to look like something in front of people that don't even care nothing about you. This is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life, bro.
So yeah, y'all stop coming after me for my bad finance decisions and go after him because he fucked up too. Too bad he didn't buy his truck for him. I did. So yeah, I messed them both up. Oops. So maybe we should just let his truck get repossessed and keep the Tahoe because a $1,400 Tahoe payment is a whole lot better than a $1,600 truck payment. Or maybe we should just let them both go back because we have the Audi now and don't need either of the.
So then she showed back up, right? She showed back up and she came up with another video, and this is her other video.
I want to know what y'all's car payments are every month because I refuse to believe that I am the only person with a high car payment, and I refuse to believe that my husband is the only man with a high truck payment. I don't know if y'all see it, but I literally see vehicles posted for sale now for like $100,000 to almost $200,000.
What cars? I'm just curious. If it's not a McLaren, if it's not a Lamborghini, if it's not a S class Mercedes, if it's not a G wagon, um, something, a high end Audi with all of the options. Um, what cars do y'all see posted for sale that are 200 between 100,000 and $200,000? A normal car. Nobody told you you had to go and impress your friends and none of that. What cars do y'all see that's being posted for sale for between one? Y'all say that I'm disconnected. Man, these people, regular everyday people, are 100% disconnected, bro. They are completely disconnected. Y'all said large SUVs. No, no, no. Unless you get an Escalade, a Range Rover autobiography, large SUVs do not cost between $100,000 and $200,000. Unless you are getting a G Wagon, an Escalade, loaded out, a Range Rover autobiography, which you shouldn't be financing those. You should just lease them if that's what you're gonna do, or Urus. I do not see regular, everyday, large SUVs costing $200,000. No, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. No way, no how. You're not gonna sit here and convince me that these large SUVs is costing $200,000. That's not overly over the top luxury. Stop, bro.
And there is absolutely no way that people are purchasing these vehicles without paying a high car payment. So y'all are mad at me, and I know that I am not the only person with these high ass car payments. I'm not. And other people just might not be telling you what their car payments are, but there are a lot of people with these high car payments for absolutely no reason. Vehicles now are not the same cost as vehicles used to be. I can look online and find a hoopty.
Farmer DAs, you do realize I just bought a Ford Bronco Raptor, right? You do realize I just bought a Ford Bronco Raptor. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Don't worry, I'll get there.
And it's going to be like $15,000. That is wild. So please, tell me what your car payments are, because I need to prove a point that I am not the only person in this predicament. Especially people that bought their cars a few years ago during the pandemic, because that is when the cars started getting really high, which is when I bought our vehicles. So tell me, do you have a high car payment or do you have a low car payment? Because
listen, y'all. I'm going to say it once and then I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it once and then I'm going to say it again. All right? You don't want to be anywhere in the middle of the spectrum. Whether it's the dating market, the money market, any of that. Anytime you classify yourself as being in the middle of the spectrum or what you think average is, you 100% of the time, you're going to be off. It's going to absolutely 100% kill you. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you want to make sure that you minimize the amount of money that you spend on the things that's important. Housing, cars, credit cards, all of that stuff. Forego that for an extended period of time until you get to the point to where your assets are basically covering your expenses. At that point, you can do whatever it is that you want, because now we in the money game. The money game is, how do we then leverage what it is that we're making in order to minimize the amount of money that we're giving over to the federal government in taxes? They're incentivizing us to reinvest in ourselves. And that comes with a certain lifestyle. Whole nother conversation. But once your asset starts to pay for your luxury lifestyle and you no longer have to or are forced to. Now, There are people that go out and they finance things because not because they don't have the resources. They have the principle, they have the resources, but they choose to allow for that large resource to continue to be inside of the market or make them more money that then continues to pay for that asset. You know what I'm saying? So there are ways to hack, but you got to get yourself to that point. You should not be financing your way to a lifestyle in the middle in order to make people feel good about what it is that you're doing. If you cannot afford to buy it, even if you finance it, you should not have it. And when I say afford to buy it, I'm not even just talking about the amount of money that you have put up for it. I'm also talking about what your net worth is. It all has to align. It all has to align. And I want people to start making sure that they stay down long enough for them to be able to really be able to live the lifestyle that they want. Bro, if you can't even fully fund your 401k every single year, 100%, both you and your chick, then you shouldn't be going out there putting more money into a car note than you are into your 401k. If y'all putting $1,600 a month plus gas, maintenance, insurance, and all of this stuff, but then you sitting here and telling me, oh man, my 401k, I couldn't fully fund it. That's a problem. You can't afford it. You cannot afford to live this lifestyle that you're projecting yourself to be if you're not putting a minimum of a certain amount of money into your retirement, into your net worth, into your stocks, into real estate, into making sure that you increase the value of who you are so that you can then pass on something to the people or be able to help people that's around you. There's no way in the world I'm going to justify somebody not being able to put the money into their 401k, but then at the same time, they spending more money on a car. That's dumb. That's dumb. And so when I talk about affordability, I'm not talking about how much you can pay in a car note. I'm talking about what makes sense as far as you making sure you investing in the best things for you for your lifestyle. Bro, if your daughter or your son got to go out there and take out student loans, but you out here paying a crazy amount for a car note, that's crazy to me. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. If you carrying credit card debt, but you out here paying a crazy car note, you can't afford it. Come on, man. Let's get back to normal. Let's get back to normal. We not going to continue to do all of this dumb stuff. And guess what? Don't nobody even care.